Hey, welcome back. So I thought I'd make a quick episode to show you how my progress is going because I've been doing a few things that I thought might be pretty interesting to hear about. So first things that I'm doing here is this is rice and this is beans. Now what I'm trying to grow is soybeans. So once I get my soybeans, I can make egg salad. It's quite funny because you can use tofu to as a what do you call it? Instead of eggs, you can use tofu. So a boiled egg can actually be made with an egg or with tofu, and mayo can be either made with an egg or with tofu. So I think probably going with tofu. Oh, look at that, soybean on the first go. Awesome. Going with tofu is probably the best way. I think, having a bunch of chickens, enough to do all the eggs, would create too much lag and stuff, and I would have to put it somewhere where I can't see it. So it wouldn't even matter anyway whether it's soybeans or not. But we'll start with soybeans. So the process is that we create firm tofu in the presser from silken tofu, which is from soy milk, which is from soybeans. So I need to set up quite a bit of a production line to get that all going. But then once that's done, we can make boiled eggs out of tofu and mayo out of tofu, put them on a cutting board and create egg salad. Now, the reason I want to make egg salad is so I can have a Gourmaryllis flour from Britannia eat it. And just like my other world where I had the Gourmaryllis eating the bread, and that will generate a lot of mana. And hopefully we can scale it out if we need to and set up all the Britannia stuff. So if we have a look, we've got all this Britannia stuff that I want to get to. The main reason I want to do this, though, is to get the runic altar so that we can start making better seeds for things. So, for example, these redstone seeds, these gold seeds over here that I've done, they require blocks of that ore underneath them to grow. But you can upgrade the seeds to a different version on the runic altar so that they don't require that, which will be really handy. And I just want to get to fluid cows and growing seeds to make all these resources. And I'll be going forward with that. So I finally decided I would do the QED, so I've done the QED, and because I'm trying to push for the rancher so that I can get the diesel generator set up, so I did the QED, I did a few machines on my way to making the rancher. So we've got the alloy smelter, we've got the sag mill, and we've got the slice and splice there. And I just set the QED up here quickly, and I made some electrical steel and stuff, and a Z Logic controller. So I was pushed through with that, try and get a rancher up for the diesel generator. So I was going through that process, and then I was just thinking about it, and I'm like, I want to set up all these sieves, but is there any real purpose for it? Like, sieving's okay for the start of the game, but we're pretty much past that point. Those sieves that I set up, well, they may not have given me everything, mainly electrotine and yellorium are the ones that, and redstone that I haven't got. But they have given me a bunch of iron and copper and lead and all that stuff. So I'm not hurting for resources. So I figure it's probably best just to get straight into the plants and just get them going. So I think I will push forward with that. One thing you can see is that the turtle's been busy. It's done a few things. I don't know if you can tell there's a hole there. That was because as I was flying down to build my room, a skeleton fired an arrow at me, which actually hit a creeper, and then the creeper exploded. So I actually had the game crash last night, so the turtle is halfway to going to refill. So I haven't turned it on yet because I have to now move the turtle back to a position where I can tell it to continue from. I can't tell it that it's halfway through going to get resources. So, yeah. As you can see, it's starting to fill in. I think next layer it'll be pretty much all closed in. And this is my initial room that I've set up. So I played around with this, and this is what I've come up with. So I put little slices of glowstone on the roof. The main reason is because I made these other glowing blocks, but when I cut them they lost their glowing properties, and also when I tried to destroy them they would crash the game. So the game's crashed like 4 or 5 times yesterday. So I think what I might go with is these Ender IO lights. I think they look a bit nicer than these ones. You can get some bigger versions of those as well, but to make these requires too much stuff. Is that going to go? So yeah, so we've got these lights, but you can get a powered light, which is a very strong light. Those are the ones that I'll be using on the capacitors, but they required silicon. But I can actually make those now, but they require a capacitor each, so they're not. They're actually quite difficult to make at the moment until I get the capacitor seeds going. And so what I'm hoping is when I replace these with powered lights, I won't need these ones along the edge. I've had to add those 3 there. But yeah, otherwise I think it's alright. I played around with the hacksaw and hacked some quartz blocks into bits and put them to make some nice little decoration. Got my mushrooms on the ground. Yeah. So that's that at the moment. I'll be able to put another floor on it easily enough. There you go, you can see the hole that the creepers made a bit easier, so I need to fix that up, which I will do. I'll probably, one of the other things I want to do is create the magnum torches and actually make those a priority this time. Set up some potion brewing so that I can make the potions that I need for that, and then because I don't want to light up the outside of the rock, but also I don't want to just have it covered in enemies the whole time. So yeah, probably make some magnum torches which don't emit light as far as I know, and they work in a very large radius to stop spawning. There are other things that I can set up for that as well. God, what are they called? It's an Ender IO thing anyway. They have them here. Yeah, a version obelisk. So you can make these aversion obelisks, and what they do is they stop spawning of certain monsters. You have to feed it soul vials of the monsters that you want to stop. But yeah, and then the other one is the attractor obelisk, which is another real nice one for making a mob farm. Basically, whenever anything spawns within the area, it teleports it to the obelisk. Not as helpful in a Skyblock world as this. It's a lot better from a normal world that has a bunch of caves and stuff, and instead of trying to go through and light it up to improve the efficiency of your spawning platform, everything's a spawning platform and it just teleports it all there. I just had a thought in the middle of that sentence, where you could probably make a fairly massive mob farm with this and have several layers of spawning with cursed earth and things, and it might be interesting to try out. Not that mobs give you too much resources after the start. Like, they give you a couple of good things. Like, it would have made quartz a lot easier if I had a mob farm from the start, but because I didn't, I don't think it's probably going to do too much for me. But yeah, anyway, I might play around with something like that. I think I will set up a mob farm just for like the cow just fell off the edge. But yeah, we're getting to the point where I can create powered spawner and stuff and just spawn things in myself and then not have to worry about trying to drop them and damage them and stuff. So yeah, I think we'll go straight to that. That's fine. Yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm at. The idea is to create the soybean stuff, create a place for Botania things. I don't want them in that room down there that I've got. I guess I should then prioritize getting that turtle to finish off the rock so I can start building on top of it. Because the two main things is set up mana generation and set up the portals to the other dimensions. Those are the two things that I want to get done. And that's going to account for a lot of the base of a lot of the foundation of the bases is obviously having those dimensions there to actually go in and do things. And yeah, I think with my red matter armor and stuff, I can quickly go through and kill all those bosses and get those quests done and get the awesome rewards and stuff from that. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Made a few things that didn't want to push this far before I got into a base, and I'll certainly when I play Project Ozone 3, I will try and think about this a bit more so that we can get to work quicker and get things going. Because even though I've known what I'm doing, I've still taken a long time to get there, mainly because of the scale of that damn rock. If I wasn't trying to build something so big, it would have not taken as much time at all. So I'll leave it there, and I'll try and get the soybean stuff going and try and get the turtle to finish today. So today's Sunday for me. Sunday morning, it's very, very likely that I can get the rock done by the end of the day, and then I can spend the rest of the week building some fungi, hopefully for myself. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. One other thing is that I I think I'll be skipping the thermoelectric generators. I think I can go straight on to setting up 1 or 2 diesel generators, depending on. I feel like probably 1 diesel generator will do heaps for now, and then yeah, I've just got like mass crafting for the if we go to gamma, setting up the laser assembly table, and then there's just mass crafting all this stuff, like all these not those cells, but the machine frames. They're basic machine frame, hardened, reinforced, resonant. Setting up the octadic capacitor farm will be really helpful. Making a whole bunch of capacitor banks. Making a whole bunch of all this Enderium, Lumium, Signalium. Well, getting seeds for those would be the best idea. But yeah, getting all these machines ready, and probably getting started on Pneumaticraft a lot quicker than I did, mainly because there's a lot of seeds that use the Pneumaticraft, the pressure chamber, to make the dense stuff. I'm looking at doing these solar panels, prioritizing them as power. Apparently they're quite good until we get to big reactor. Yeah, still lots to do, and yeah, better get onto it. Cool. So yeah, now that once the rock's done, it's get to plan out all the kind of fungi and stuff that I want to build on top of it. And yeah, it's still going to be pretty slow at the start, I think, while I'm still figuring out the exact layout and stuff, but we should be able to start at least getting the Botania stuff up so that we're generating mana. We can set up some of those Lunium flowers, which give us the dungeon loot drops, and yeah, create all those seeds. That's the important thing for me, is actually getting the garden working this time. I had great ambitions last time we didn't get there, so yeah, that's what I'll be doing, and I'll see you next time.